Hey guys, what's going on? So behind me is the building where I used to work during my days at Verizon, and I was just doing some work over here in the morning. So I decided to share this video because I remembered this story that I wanted to share with you. That's basically about how I made a wrong choice at one point in time, trying to decide on what my focus or my specialty is going to be in my cybersecurity career. So at around 2012, I decided I want to get into ICS and SCADA security. If you're not familiar with this is basically industrial control system security, and these are the controls that will control big oil refineries, plants, water pumps, etc. So pretty serious stuff. And I decided this is the way I want to go. That's what I want to do. So I saved quite a bit of money, went to Spain, did a training on it, was super excited about it, came back, and that was 10 years ago. Now, if you ask me what happened after 10 years, are you now a specialist? Are you now an expert in ICS and SCADA? Unfortunately, the answer is not at all. I don't even remember what I did in that training. Even if I do, that was 10 years ago. So it's probably very outdated by now. So what happened? Where did I go wrong? Why did I choose something that I didn't follow up through and I didn't really focus on and specialize on, even though I invested quite a bit of money and travel and time and effort? At one point in time, you're going to have to make a choice. You're going to have to decide what specialty or what expertise you want to focus on in your cybersecurity career. And I wanted to share this story with you so that hopefully you will avoid doing the same mistake that I did. So, what went wrong? What are the things that I did wrong, and what could you do differently? If we want to narrow it down, I did not really focus on three main things. I focused on one of the three main things. So, what are these three main things? When you want to decide on a specialty, first and foremost, you want to consider yourself. Second, you want to consider the environment you're going to be working in. And third, you want to consider your market. I considered myself only. That was it. I didn't consider the environment. I didn't consider the market. So let me expand on this a little bit. When we're talking about yourself, we talked about this in previous video. And this, I think everybody's familiar with. This is when you want to make sure that you are truly interested in what you are doing, that you have this passion, you have this drive, you have this interest. And here, I'm not just, you have to be true to yourself. I'm not just talking about, I'm interested in this because there's a ton of money in it, right? Because I see a lot of people making thousands in bug bounty, so now I'm interested. Yes, of course, we all want to make money. Yes, of course, we all want to be paid. But if you're not truly interested with what you are doing, you're not going to get good at it. And if you don't get good at it, you're not going to get paid. So here you have to be true to yourself. You have to be really honest with yourself. Nobody is going to be able to give you that answer. That's one. So I was interested in ICS. I was interested in SCADA. I thought, that was very super interesting. That is the way to go. And I went and sort of invested time, effort, and money in it. The second thing you want to consider is your environment. And this is what I failed to take into consideration. When I'm talking about your environment, I'm talking about what kind of work you're going to be doing, what kind of role it is that you're going to be doing. So, for example, let's say you want to become a pen tester. A pen testing role is a customer facing role. It requires a lot of customer meetings, it requires being on site, traveling quite a bit, knowing how to do presentations, knowing how to help the sales guys close the sale, and so on. These are all things that nobody talks about, by the way. You think that pen testing, you're going to be sitting behind a computer and hacking your way for 12 hours a day. That is not true. So if you're not the person that likes to meet people, that likes to travel, that sometimes will have to live out of a bag for 4 months on no end, then pen testing is not going to be for you. If you are somebody who prefers computers and prefers cats and dogs and animals over people, then maybe you want to do bug bounty. In that case, I would say by all means, go and spend 12 hours sitting behind a computer doing bug bounty. So in that sense, you want to really consider your environment and you want to dig a little bit deeper into what kind of environment am I going to be working in. And that information you get out from talking to people that are experienced in the field. And the interviews, when you're doing a job interview, you ask these questions. And the third thing, and the most important thing that I also fail to take into consideration, is the market. See, I did this training and then I came back to Dubai and I was waiting for us to get a job doing ICS or SCADA security assessments. But there is no market, or there was no market for it back then. So all that skills, all that training that I did, unfortunately went down the drain. It's nobody's fault except mine, because I did not really research this thoroughly. I did not research it properly. So I was just sitting there waiting for us to get a job, waiting for us to get a customer that does ICS or SCADA, and it didn't happen. Not even one single job, which is unfortunate, but what are you going to do, right? You learn from your mistakes. Hopefully, you're going to learn from my mistakes. So these are the three things that I want you to take into consideration. So let's take pen testing again, for example, or bug bounty. Pen testing now is becoming sort of oversaturated, at least where I live right now or in this region. It's becoming a little bit oversaturated. A lot of people want to get into pen testing, which is a good thing. Everybody is super excited about it. Everybody wants to get into it. But that also means that there is a lot of supply. There's a lot of people getting into the market. There's a lot of people interviewing for the same job that you're interviewing for. And that means salaries are going to become a little bit less competitive or a little bit less appealing. Bug bounty as well. How many people do you know that want to get into bug bounty? How many people are going to find the same vulnerability and report on the same vulnerability? So it is quite competitive, right? Now, take on the other hand, the FIR or forensics or incident response, there is still a big lack in this skill set over here, at least in this region, right? So there's a lot of jobs, but there isn't a lot of supply. There isn't a lot of people doing that. So that's something that you want to also take into consideration. You want to research. Look at job posts, talk to recruiters, find out what it is that is missing in your job market. When you combine these three together, yourself, that you're really truly interested, your environment, it's an environment that I'm going to enjoy, that I'm going to love working in, and the market, there is a demand in the market. If you combine these trio, then you are well on your way to becoming a very successful person in your cybersecurity career. Hopefully you've enjoyed this and you've learned from my mistakes, and that's it for me for now, and I will see you soon in another video.